All right, everybody, welcome back to Heath Barn. Hope we're having a great day. This is episode 115, and I had to call an audible. I was out here, had an episode planned. Maybe I can do it Thursday, involving March Madness, things like that. But we got a sick kid in the house, so I'm calling an audible. I don't have time to be out here doing that. Need to be in there attending to him. So I went through the old scrapbook. That's not right at all, but you know what I mean. I went back through all the old episodes, and I thought, why not play the one that got it all started, start from the very, very beginning. My buddy Spinner, it's the first time he ever came to visit the barn, and we did a top 9 favorite baseball movie list. We both had our list. So I figured spring training, baseball is on the horizon. I'll do March Madness Thursday, hopefully. Today, focus on a little baseball. So it was a good episode. Again, at the very beginning, you'll be able to tell that right away. But we list some good movies. We laugh. We just kind of shoot the breeze as we're going along, and it's a fun episode. So as you'll be able to hear, this is kind of the one that got it all started here, the podcast. So hope you guys enjoy it. Hopefully Thursday we get back to normal. But in the meantime, enjoy this episode, encore episode, top 9 favorite baseball movie list with Spinner. Okay, here we are. Welcome to the Heath Barn. I'm here with the No Spin Zone, the Spin Zone, the Spin Doctor, the Spin Dizzle, the Spin Daddy.
That's me.
Craig Spinner. What's up? How do you like the Heath Barn? And thank you for coming all this way from
Greenwood, Indiana.
There you go.
I appreciate you having me today. I've been looking forward to it. I heard there was a big podcast starting up, and I wanted to be the inaugural guest. And it looks like my wish came true. So here we are.
All right. I think we don't have to go through all of our history. Let's just get right into, I feel like we should talk about the 30 for 30 that may or may not be in the making. And you titled it, what was the title of it? The Game That Never Was.
The game that never ended.
Yeah. I thought it was The Game That Never Was because nobody saw it except
us. Yes. What year was that?
Oh, God, I don't know. It was
about 20 years ago.
Yeah, it was a while back.
We started a game of horse.
Let's not age ourselves, but
in someone's driveway in downtown Paris, and
yeah,
we made every shot.
It was.
Nobody had enough letters, and we
it was,
we
which I'm used to. I didn't know you had that in you. Like I've always been like that, but I was shocked.
Hey, back in the day, I could play ball.
Oh, I know.
Now I can just talk about it.
That's right. That's right.
So,
I know. I feel like we're just glory days in it right off the bat. Yeah, it was. It was a long game. I'm starting up a shooting academy. I didn't tell you that.
That's phenomenal.
Yeah, and I brought that out here with my, glory days. You gotta. They're just not going to let any schlub off the street start up a shooting academy, so you got to...
Oh, you got your resume
You got to put your resume out,
I like it.
You got to... So, without naming towns and schools where I'm from, all that kind of stuff, we got...
Do you need a reference?
That's true. Yeah, not yet. Well, we'll see. We'll see what the numbers look like. I may have to go. Okay, so as a sophomore, we should... myself shot 57% from 3, 84 out of 147.
Jeez.
Selected for the first ever Super Soft Camp. Top 42 sophomores in the state of Illinois were chosen to compete in a weekend shootout. Junior year, 74 for 136. Got in a slump, only shot 54.5% from 3 that year. Definitely just slumped a little from the sophomore year. Senior year, 24.4 points a game, 1,823 career points, 208 career threes, still a school record, So, cue Bruce Springsteen, hit it. So, again, that night,
wasn't surprised at my, But again, you start a shooting academy, and I feel like as long as the kids can give it more than 4 minutes to improve and have their shot fixed, because they have no patience these days. It's like they'll go and try for 5 minutes. Oh, I can't do this. I think I'm going to go stare at my phone for 6 hours. As long as they'll actually show up and.
Yeah, I can see a big need for that. Absolutely.
Yeah, but what do you? Okay, but do you get that though? As a former baseball coach, there's a lot of kids are brutal in the way that like they want things, they want to improve like that, and if they can't,
instant satisfaction. Yeah, I'd say this day and age, it's probably a little tougher for kids to understand the work they need to put in to get the results that they want.
Yes.
We just had a off air. We were talking about the NBA these days. I can't stand it. I mean, I prefer a good high school game or a college game to look, because you're more apt to see the fundamentals. Right now, it's just everybody wants to shoot threes and throw it up there, and
it's a three or a layup.
And I think that kids just go out there and emulate that, and it's
what happened to a good old fashioned pivot foot. No, no, I'm just kidding.
The picket fence.
Yeah, run the picket fence. Oh, I know.
No,
yeah, I mean that's a whole other thing. Oh my gosh, if I get into coaching, I would be here till 2 a.m. griping about all of the various reasons that.
Well, coaching
is a sickness. By the way,
coaching's tough, and I'm sure it's a lot tougher in today than it was before.
Yeah.
But yeah, But I think you're talking about starting an academy. I think that's.
What's funny is that
worth your while. It's just curious how that will.
Oh, we'll see.
How will that turn out? I mean,
all I want to do is just
got to give it a shot.
Yeah, kids that want to learn how to shoot the ball, I'll help them shoot the ball. And if they don't, they don't. It's fine. It's no big deal. But basically, I was just using that as an excuse to read off my stats. And if we had the rights to Glory Days, I'd be playing it in the background.
Those stats in today's NIL money, we wouldn't be.
Oh my gosh.
We wouldn't be sitting in a barn. We'd be sitting in a mansion.
I would be at a D2 school that doesn't play any defense, just raking it in.
Did you see the team that shot 111 threes the other day?
No, but that doesn't surprise me.
Apparently that's D2 or D3 ball now.
Mm.
That's ridiculous.
Grinnell was always a school that would just
it might have been them, but somebody jacked up 111 threes, and I'm like,
Nice.
That's disgusting, because that's not basketball.
No, it's not.
It doesn't teach you anything. I mean, I know that those kids aren't planning on playing professional ball, but why play it like that?
I know.
But anyway.
And it's like, to me, it's like, okay, as soon as you're just heaving it and you don't have any form, then you're out too far. So scoot in here, but nobody wants to scoot in. They just want to. Yeah, they just want to heave it and have horrible form and, whatever. Let's get to a funner topic.
Okay.
A little bit of our history. What made me and the Spin Dizzle click as buddies early on was our, what would you say, our affinity for
80s baseball.
80s baseball. 80s in general.
80s in general.
80s trivia, 80s music, 80s baseball, 80s sports. We love a good pun, So
the love for sports.
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
Absolutely.
But like, I'm trying to think. Mine like a steel trap when it comes to just remembering. Just like before we came on, you were in our living room asking me, Spinner tell them a little bit about your fandom for baseball, like who your team is and all that good stuff.
Well, I'm a Cincinnati Reds fan, and I know that by all measures that's a laughingstock today. But my first
doggone it, back in the day.
My first game I attended,
yeah.
My mom and dad took me and my brother in 1976 to Riverfront Stadium to a Reds game. Of course, that was the Big Red Machine era, and my dad, just like the guy beside me here, was a St. Louis Cardinals fan. But my mom and dad grew up 45 minutes outside of St. Louis. So, I mean, obviously it makes sense. Where we grew up in Marshall, Illinois, which is a little ways from here, I mean, you had 3 hours north, you had Chicago teams. 2.5 hours one way was Cincinnati, 2.5 the other way was St. Louis. So we're kind of in the middle. And but by them taking us to that Reds game, me and my brother picked up on the Reds, and we've been that way since '76.
So your parents were Reds fans?
No, Cardinals.
They just took you to a Reds game.
Yeah, because
So it's like it's Marshall,
my dad wanted to just see another ballpark that he'd never seen.
Yeah.
So we went to Riverfront, and of course the Reds were good, and it was actually they played the Braves. I still have the ticket stub from that game in August 19th of 1976.
There you go. See, there.
So I've been a Reds fan ever since.
This son of a gun, steel trap, man.
Yeah, so I know every Dan Billardello story and Ron Oster fact that you
we'll get into them later.
You could probably not want to know, but that's the love of baseball. You can watch game number 153 of a season when your team's in last place, just wondering who that next prospect is or who's the coming up star. It's kind of unique from any other sport. I tell people that baseball is the most, technical. Like, there's so many things going on, even though people say it's boring. People that aren't a baseball fan say it's boring. They don't know the game.
Yeah.
If you do know the game, you're intrigued with it, and even a 2-1 game in September with two last place teams can be entertaining if you're a fan. So.
Yeah, it's a beautiful game. I feel like we need to have Kevin Costner in here narrating something about it because it's because it is. I mean, it is. It's and I love how I don't know. Like, I mean, I have an unhealthy obsession with fantasy football, so I love that. And I've always loved basketball, but it's like live. I mean, there's no place, and that me and my wife and my son, there's no place we'd rather be than Busch Stadium watching a game because it's just there's no clock. Well, now they're having the pitching clock, whatever. But let's not get into all that crap. But it's just it's a wonderful atmosphere, and it's So yeah, we love baseball. We love sports in general. I could tell. I could give you a hard time about some Illinois basketball stories. Oh my gosh, I'm thinking about it now. I don't even know if I should bring it up, but Luther Head may or may not have had your hat at a bar.
I did give him my hat at a bar.
Yeah,
and
then he gave it away to a female about.
I promised
8 seconds after he gave it to Luther,
and he made me a promise.
Did he, or did you just?
No, he made me a promise. I said, you can have my hat if you win it all.
The bleepity
bleep, a little bit different.
Yeah, and then
they got there, and that game was tied at 70 apiece against North Carolina. And who had the game-winning shot? Luther Head, and it went in and out.
True. I think he was thinking about you. He choked.
He goes, I have to make this shot.
For that 35-year-old that was at the college bar.
And he got so nervous. We missed it.
Yeah.
North Carolina got the rebound. We had to foul.
We're burying the lead here. The funniest part about that whole night is so Spinner gives the hat. Luther walks by him at this college bar after a game. He's like, man, I like your hat. And Spinner's like, you can have it on one condition, win and he gave the Jake Taylor from Major League line, win the hole, whatever.
Yep.
Blah, blah, blah. Okay.
I did.
So he gave him the hat. So Luther makes a lap in the hat, and then about 8 minutes later, we see this girl walking by wearing the hat, and Spinner's like, "Hey," he's like, "That's my hat." She's like, "No." She's like, "No, it's not." He's like, "No. I don't want it back. Just give it back to Luther." So he didn't care. You didn't want the hat back. You just wanted to get back to Luther's.
Yeah.
So it was good.
That was the deal.
Yeah, it was good. So yeah, but a lot of Illinois stuff, a lot of baseball stuff, and
we could tell stories for hours. But
yes,
we'll.
So I thought that some fun things to do here would be, speaking of baseball. Couple things we might do. I feel like we both think we know a lot and can name a lot of baseball cards, random baseball players from 30 to 40 years ago. So if I can get my wife back in here, we're going to do like a little flashcard situation. She's going to hide the name, pull up the baseball card, and we're going to see which one of us can get it first. And we're going to see who wins. That's one thing we're planning on doing. Spinner, tell them about the nugget you found from 2004 that you're gonna Because I don't even remember doing this, but
Well, there were several, and I do mean several beers involved. And it was 18 years ago. So circa 2004, if my math is correct.
yes.
Somehow we got together and went through this old box of cards and pulled out the, let's put it this way.
We were a big
not,
hit. We were a
not
big, hey, we were a big hit.
superstar-
We were a big hit with the ladies back in 04.
not superstars.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
So we put all these in a hard case, and I wrote 2004 Hall of Fame inductees. Total sarcasm. Like I
Yes.
said, these are guys that either barely had a cup of coffee or never heard of, but had a really nice mustache or a mullet or something funny.
Yes.
And
I haven't seen it
low
since that night.
I haven't either. It's been buried in a box.
I'm looking at it right now. I'm just
and in my basement, and I pulled them out this morning and said this would be a nice gift
yeah.
to start your first podcast with. And there it sits.
It is. It's right there.
It's just looking at you.
And we don't, and neither one of us know what's
No.
what's under that. Yeah, what's in that
Other
stack of
than
cards.
we know they're not any Hall of Famers,
Right.
In real terms.
Well, you never know. Hell, that was 18 years
hell, I
ago.
don't
Somebody may have blown up since then. You never. Maybe there could be like former managers in there. That's for sure. Like or current managers.
Current managers?
Yes. Yeah. Dan Bellardello. He was I mean I don't want to misspeak here, but he was like the AA manager for the Cardinals, I think, or something like that, or was it for somebody else?
No, I think you're right,
And that's I should know that because you know
Mr. Cardinal.
yeah, but he has been a manager, so yeah, we'll see what kind of little
Well, they may not have had a great career, but they
That's
knew
right.
the game, and now
Yeah.
they're coaching. So,
Absolutely.
good for them.
But all right, let's start off. I'm excited about this. We're gonna do our. I come up with a list. Name your top 9. Get it 9 because it's baseball. Favorite baseball movies of all time. And we both came up with a list. And I don't know what his is, and he doesn't know what mine is. But we're gonna go through and probably argue and go from there. So,
Well, this is our
do
opinions.
you have your list? Do you have your list?
It's right here, and it is our opinions,
I'll tell you something else
which
too.
means the way I did it is not the 9 best,
Your 9 favorite.
the 9 favorites, and I kind of wrote a reason why.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I spent all night on it, so I kind of went
Yeah,
through
you probably
them,
did.
and
It's fine. I struggled with once I got to like past like 7, I was kind of like, man. And then because 8 and 9 for me are 8 I'm all in on 8. 9 was like I had to pick between 2, and one of them was like Oscar worthy or got nominated for a couple, or somebody won an Oscar or something like that, but I didn't. So it's like, do I go that way or do I go, so besides that though, ranking them was hard, but I was good to go as far as like picking them until like 9, but ranking them, different story. It's tough.
And if you boot me out or whatever, let me know. But I have 2 on here that are basically documentaries, but
I'm just kidding.
they're.
Hang on a second.
But as far as, I mean, you'll understand it if that changes your list. Like I said, sorry, we didn't really have a bunch of rules, but
No, I got one I told you yeah.
so anyway.
You go first with number 9.
Oh, we're going backwards from number 9.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't you think?
All right. Yeah. You
Yeah.
got it.
Yeah.
Okay. So my number 9 is Trouble with the Curve.
Okay. Clint Eastwood, never saw it, but
okay. Now, this is probably one of the rare ones on my list. I've only seen it once.
yeah. Is it because Justin Timberlake's in it and you're
No.
a big NSYNC guy?
Nope.
Okay.
The fact that Clint Eastwood is the main character, he's the scout. If you've never seen it, it's
Isn't Amy Adams in that too?
if that's her name, yeah, his daughter.
Yes.
So,
I believe.
if you've never seen it, it is a great watch. It did come in 9 on my list because it was a feel-good story, and it's Clint Eastwood, and it's baseball.
Yeah.
And when you watch, I mean,
Trouble with the curve.
I remember watching it, and to me, I don't watch a lot of movies. I can get bored in 10 minutes, but like
Yes.
throughout the whole movie, I was
Like people probably did with this. Just kidding.
exactly, exactly.
Just kidding.
So, really enjoyed that movie. Weird, I've only seen it. I mean, there's movies I've seen multiple times that didn't even make my list. But
Right.
anyway, that's my number 9.
All right.
What do you got?
My number 9, I have 8 Men Out. The White Sox scandal, you know.
Yep, I've seen it.
Based on a true story. The only thing I don't like, okay, I was just telling my wife this, like, all these movies that come out that are, like, gets really good reviews and everything and based on true stories, I'm just like, how the hell do you know? Like, you're not in the room with them. Like, you don't know what they said in that situation. You don't know what they did in that situation. You know, that aggravates me with good movies that are based on true stories because it's like, how do you really know? But, again, it's number 9. It's not my number 1, but I thought it was a very, good movie, very entertaining movie. And you had like, you know, you had some guys like that was in like 86 maybe, I think. And then you had like Charlie Sheen, John Cusack. You had guys that blew up after that, you know. And so, yeah, I thought that was, again, based on a true story, I thought it was good. So
Absolutely.
that's my number 9. What's your number 8?
Number 8, classic Bull Durham.
That's
I know it's low. I know it's low.
That's
but
all right.
look,
That's all right.
Look, it's a classic, and if I was flipping channels and it was on, I wouldn't change a channel.
I
seen
feel
it,
like
seen it numerous times.
Yes.
You know, Crash Davis, and of course you got a lot of things going on there, but it's comedy, and of course it's got the love story stuff. But
Yes.
the fact that it is a classic, but maybe I ranked it too low, but I'm sure it's on your list and you'll talk about it more later. But
Yeah.
you know, other than it,
No, I'm
I'm just saying
I'm
it's
with
not
you, yeah.
it's not my favorite, but it's got some
I'll
great
talk
lines
yeah.
and whatever.
It does,
So,
yes. And I'll
I like the fact
Yeah.
that the Durham Bulls still play in Indianapolis every year, and it just makes me laugh.
yeah, it's great.
Because that's a real team.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, now this one, this is my out there.
Number 8?
That you've never heard of, yeah. You know, as you know from earlier tonight, I have a son in kindergarten, obsessed with, I show him old baseball stuff on YouTube. We watch the Baseball Bunch, showed it to Spinner, but this is where
Which I've seen.
I had
in
this
81.
Yeah, I had this VCR tape when I was little, but obviously, and then I got older. I'm like, damn, I bet I could find that on YouTube. So it's called. It's the 1985 St. Louis Cardinals season. It's called Heck of a Year, and I know it's a stretch. I don't care. I told you when we were doing these lists. I'm like, I'm gonna have
This
one.
is your list.
Yeah, it's my list. So Heck of a Year, 1985.
Is Dinkinger in it? I'm sorry.
He is,
That's
unfortunately.
a slam. I'm sorry.
He's in it for a clip, but like, but
I'm sorry.
they focus on the positive. But it is awesome. I remember it from my childhood. Stevie, my son, has watched it now, and he knows it all very, very well, and he can like recite it almost. So it's one of those where it's like, I loved it, now my son loves it. But it focused on that 1985 season, and I feel like that's the year that I really, because in 82 I was too little. I mean, too little to really know what was going on. 85 was the first year that I was like old enough and like die hard, you know, bawled whenever they lost and was overjoyed when they won. Like Jack Clark was the man, So that was the year that I got super, super, super like into baseball. And so the fact that I can show it back now to my son and he watches it and he's all about it, like, yeah, that
My
one's-
team doesn't have any highlight movies, so
Well,
No,
I bet they do. They're
they're
just
old.
older than that. Yeah.
they're definitely on VHS
Yeah.
tapes. Yes.
So, anyways, yes, that's my number 8 is Heck of a Year, and it's the 1985 Cardinal season. Okay, number 8. No, wait a minute.
7.
You're 7 for you.
All right, this one was a. I mean, it was a movie. I guess you could maybe a documentary, whatever you want to call it, but it would actually came out a couple years ago.
All right.
And if you're not familiar with it, this is an absolute must-watch. It's called The Battered Bastards of Baseball.
Okay. What you got?
And are you familiar with it?
No.
Okay.
I don't think.
Okay, so I'll give you a quick synopsis, but you have got to watch it. It's either on Netflix or HBO Prime or something, Max or whatever. So in 1973, this
Yes.
is a true story. When I say
Yes.
documentary,
Just when you were starting high school. Just kidding.
I was 2, but anyway, just gave away my age. But I was 2.
I don't know.
So in 1973,
You gave away your age. I was just BSing. Okay.
No, I did 73.
Yep.
Bing Russell, which is Kurt Russell's dad,
Okay.
started a minor league baseball team. They
Okay.
were Class A, but they were independent, so they were not affiliated with any major league team. He literally went out and started a minor league baseball team in 1973 called the Portland Mavericks.
Okay.
Had a bunch of misfits, guys that played major league
How do you
ball.
have the money to start a?
I don't remember all the details.
Okay. I'm sorry.
But watch it. I mean,
I know.
was he an actor also?
I don't know. Maybe.
So he had some money.
With a name like Bing, you gotta.
And think about
you gotta
it.
be good at something.
1973, it's a minor league team. I mean, I'm sure they had
Yeah.
some uniforms. But,
Yeah, that's true. It's
and
not
maybe
like
they had to get some sponsorships or something. I don't know, but
it's not like you need to.
the long and short of it is he had these, I want to say kind of misfits, but he had guys that had big league careers. Maybe they got in trouble. Maybe they were
a ragtag bunch of dreamers.
Out of the big leagues and trying to make a comeback. And when you watch it, all they did was piss everybody else off because they were good. They were around for 5 years. They finished first place 4 years and second place 1 year. So not only was it a misfit throw together minor league team, they won.
Yeah.
And you need to watch it. Again, it's called the Battered Bastards of Baseball. And Kurt Russell did play a few games for his dad.
Yeah, nice.
Swear to God.
Yeah.
But anyway, the Portland Mavericks. Look it up.
Okay.
It is phenomenal. I mean, it is a true story, and you'll laugh, but it's just kind of amazing. And obviously that couldn't happen now, but this is 1973.
Yeah, it's great.
The fact that they just got in this late. And I think, and I can't remember the ending, but I think they were so jealous they kicked him out of the league.
Yeah.
So that's, I think, how they became defunct. But anyway,
Very cool. Documentaries are the best.
That's my 7.
All right. I'm trying to think of what.
What's your 7?
All right. I'm just thinking like I'm just getting that in my mind. Like I got to watch it. Okay. My number 7 is Field of Dreams. Obviously, very popular movie. Great movie, but you know, there's that part of me that's like,
I understand.
none of this could, what are we doing? It's a little corny, So I thought it was a great movie and everything, but I thought it was a lot better when I was young. You get older and you're like, okay, obviously.
Came out in our wheelhouse. And late 80s, late 80s.
Obviously people can't disappear when they go into a cornfield. It's not that bothers me, but it's just like little, like, I don't know. It didn't bother me that much because I have it on my list, but
You've got 2 that revolve around Shoeless Joe.
yeah, there you go. I am partial to the Ray Liotta, Shoeless Joe. Ray Liotta in any roles, yeah. But
Yeah, absolutely.
but like, so obviously, very good movie and everything. Just all the magic and the corniness and all that stuff. Like, you're gonna lose your house. Look at this crazy guy making a baseball field in his car. Whatever. Like that part of it. As you get older, it's kind of like, okay, a little corny. But again, great movie. Not the top of my list. When I was ranking these, I was like, the farther I get along, the harder it was to rank them. But this one, I was like, okay, I'm not putting this one above a certain. So yeah, that's my number 7.
Okay.
Back to the spin dog.
Number 6, the movie 42.
Can I make a confession here?
Yes.
It might have been on my list, but I never saw it.
Okay.
Okay.
Fair enough. Now, 42 is about Jackie Robinson.
Mm-hmm.
Came out several years ago.
Didn't Mike Lago wear 42? I thought it was about Mike Lago. Just kidding.
Mariano Rivera. No.
Yeah.
Anyway, the reason it's my number 6 is the historical importance of Jackie Robinson makes you want to know about him. And I'm not saying I didn't know anything about him. Obviously I did. But I watched the movie to learn more about him.
And there's nothing new, is there?
No. But it was hard to watch because of what he went through.
Yes.
But I'm not saying it doesn't take away from the movie. It just,
Right.
to me, it was all about the significance of it and wanting to learn more about him.
Yeah.
And that's why I put it at number 6. Is it's
See,
the
that's
importance it has to baseball. It was important to me
Right.
to watch it and learn more about him.
I
That's all.
agree. But that's also why, like, documentaries are better. Okay, if you're doing something like that, a documentary is always better than a studio like movie, or whatever. Because, like I told you, you have, if it's based on a true story and it's like a studio making it, chances are you're not going to learn anything you didn't already know. But documentaries, you always come out of it learning something, you know. So it's like, to me, it's like that was probably a very good movie, but like you said, you know, hell, I'm just. I mean,
Well, it's not a documentary because it's people acting it out.
right, exactly.
And
that's why documentaries are better. You know, it's
yes,
like,
exactly.
yeah, it's like
You got raw footage of the real thing.
What was it?
No,
Oh,
a documentary,
yeah. Right? Yeah, yeah.
as opposed to just actors
Yeah.
and a playing.
It's just like money, you know. Whenever you, whenever you try to do something
Because
based
a
on a true story.
documentary isn't a comedy like
No, it's a real deal.
Bull Durham.
Right.
That's made for comedy based on baseball. All right, what you got for 6?
All right, I have A League of Their Own. I think it's a hell of a movie. You know, it's a great movie, and that's one. Looking at my list now, maybe I should. I don't know. Maybe I should have a little bit higher, but I've always liked it a lot. And I think it's a great movie, and I think that it's one of those where you watch the whole thing and there's really nothing where I'm like, I don't like this part or I don't like that part. Like, I just think it's really good. It's really well done. I mean, I don't know what else to say. It's just really well done. Really good movie.
Forever since I've seen that.
Yeah. I
Actually didn't cross my mind when I was making my list.
Yeah. Well,
But there's some I know there's some we
those
left
are
out.
issues that
There's
you got to
something
sort out on your own, man. I can't.
No, I know.
girls playing baseball, Spinner.
No, I know.
Yeah.
I don't remember that. but-
No. It's a hell of a movie. It's really good. So yeah, I thought of it, and it's yeah. I mean, it's just great. I'm trying to think. They redid a series on like Amazon or something based on it, and I haven't watched that because I certainly want to be honest. But and I don't know if, but yeah, they have there's a series on Amazon now. I think it's Amazon, whatever, one of those streaming networks that is A League of Their Own, the series or whatever, and hopefully it does well. But the movie was great. Really good stuff. And that's one of those that was based on a true story, but obviously back then you can't get everything that you're going to get. So I just feel like that it was really well done as far as taking as much as you could from back then and putting into that movie. Yeah, just a really good movie. So yeah, number 6. Looking at my list now, maybe should have had it higher, but whatever, we'll see. But okay, 5 for you.
Number 5. This is my other documentary. I may have said it. There's a couple that probably constitute documentaries, and I just thought of a couple that I've seen recently that I want to mention. I saw a documentary in the last month or two. Nolan Ryan and Willie Mays.
Oh yeah.
Okay, this isn't my list, but I'm saying if you haven't seen those, oh my God, you got to see those.
There's a Nolan Ryan documentary.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
It is phenomenal.
Yeah.
But anyway, so my number 5.
He's like, okay.
It'll blow your mind.
You talked about Clint Eastwood.
Yeah.
He's the Clint Eastwood of baseball.
He is,
in my opinion.
And
I've never thought about that before till just now, and I feel like I nailed it.
Some of his numbers, that documentary will blow you away. So that is a must see. Watch it. Anyway, back to the list. This is my other supposed documentary, but it's called Catching Hell. It was the documentary about Steve Bartman.
Yeah.
The reason
he ain't
it's
no ball
on
player.
here,
I'm just kidding.
the reason it's on here is it is unbelievable how people, franchise, media, whatever, can put a baseball loss on a fan. Mm-hmm. It's outright sickening to the point that it's laughable, but it ruined this kid's life.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Yeah.
the fact that something like this really happened
Yeah.
is number one why it's so intriguing. But when you watch it, the part to me that's so intriguing is before social media and all that crap, how many people came forward with footage, live footage from different angles from the ballpark to put this documentary together, and how minute by minute that played out, and then how day by day it played out, and all of that. I mean, if you haven't seen it, again, it's a 30 for 30, but it's about an hour and a half. It's a great watch. So it's about movie link. But
and
being a Cardinal and Red fan here.
No, I was going to say he was a fan for who?
It was the Cubs. But
yeah.
Can we say that on air? Cubs?
Yeah.
Ooh, sorry. Now
you can say it whenever we're talking about how foolish all that. Yeah.
So another just interesting, not interesting. That's not the right word. Just another tidbit of when things happen and people say, "Well, I know where I was when that happened." So it was the day of my grandpa's funeral.
Yes.
And we went out to the local bar to have a toast on my grandpa's behalf. And I looked up at the TV when that play happened, which was just kind of makes it stand out even more. But anyway,
nobody talks about Alex Gonzalez making an error like 5 minutes. Yeah.
The 6-4-3 that Alex Gonzalez booted lost that game.
Yeah.
And their collapse.
They all just collapsed.
So there should be a 30 for 30 on
the collapse after the foul.
Alex Gonzalez, not Steve Bartman, is what it should be called. But anyway.
Yeah, sorry.
Just the fact that a fan got blamed for like losing a World Series, which they weren't even there.
No.
And it was the NL Championship Series, and they had a 3-0 lead. But anyway, that's my number 6 or 5.
Yeah,
that's my number 5.
Oh my gosh, I got to talk about that Bartman. Hey, okay, just one quick thing about the Bartman. If Moises Alou doesn't react the way he does, none of this shit happens at all. Like,
and they interview him.
Is he remorseful? Or is he just like...
He's remorseful, and so is, Eric Karros.
Eric Karros was a...
No. Well, who was the...
Oh, the guy calling the game?
No. Wait a minute. Who?
Derek Lee was playing first base for the Cubs back then.
Wait, was Eric Karros calling
I'm going to own you in that baseball card game.
No, but Kerry Wood manned up and
yeah.
said it wasn't his fault. But Moises Alou still thinks that he would have caught it, but it doesn't. Of course, it was.
Oh my gosh!
Anyway,
it's typical.
All right, go ahead.
I remember like this. That was back before like you could. I can't remember if you could text back then or not. It was like what it was 03. But I just
in first kind of collections of text.
I think and I just remember like one of my buddies that was a Cub fan. I just like after that happened. And then the collapse of that game, I just sent like I either called him or sent him like a voice video message thing, and I was just like, because like no, the goat, but yeah,
the Billy Goat curse.
But it was because that's what it is. But all right,
and they had Game 7 and choke too. So
absolutely,
ahead. You're number 5.
All right, my number 5 is Bull Durham. You talked about it earlier. I love it. I love the baseball stuff. But all the other stuff, I don't, I just like the baseball stuff. I don't care about Susan Sarandon banging two guys, the love story part, I get it, but, I also feel like there's no way like a minor league journeyman catcher talks like that in real life. It's like,
But it's Cosner.
I believe in blah, blah, blah. Do you? Like,
but when you're in every baseball movie.
I know. But it's a hell of a movie. It's very quotable too. The baseball parts, the interactions between him and Luke Lelouch, like those are amazing. And I think I really, really like it. But like if I'm going to sit down and just like watch a movie, that's one of those where it's like a baseball movie. It's number 5 because it's like, well, I mean, I'll watch it, but when it comes up to those parts with like Susan Sarandon and all that stuff,
you want to fast forward.
Yeah, I don't care. I don't care. I just just get to the funny lines,
I understand.
Yeah, but again, it's my number 5. So okay. Back to you for number 4. We're getting into the
all right. So
the shiz.
So my number 4, I know it's a podcast and you can't see, but when we get live camera, I brought a prop for this one.
Oh boy. Oh my gosh. There it is. He's got a.
This is a official Kelly Leak jersey, by the way.
Nice
and
work.
Kelly Leak, number 3 for the Bears, back in '76, with his sponsor Chico's Bail Bonds on back. Obviously, we're talking about Bad News Bears, the original.
The original.
Yes, there was a
The
remake,
original.
and I'm not knocking the remake, but the original from 1976.
The remake was PG.
with Walter Matthau is classic. The reason this movie is so great is because it's vintage, B, it's hilarious, and C, if you've ever coached baseball, you get it.
Yeah.
Now, the only thing I'm mad that I didn't ever have the guts to do is have my kids carry my cooler to the dugout.
Yeah.
But I should have.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
They, believe it or not, there was a 2 and a 3, and you can't. They're terrible. The original is all there is.
Yeah.
I think there was one in like '78 and one in like 1980. One of them
They did.
They go to Japan.
They went to the Astrodome in that one.
I know it's
Cesar
terrible.
Cedeno. Let them play. Let them play.
Bob Watson and Cedeno, I think.
Well, Cedeno, by the way, heck of a year. He's on that blasting dongs for the Cardinals because we picked him up at the end of the year and he hit like 434 for the Cardinals the last 2 months of the season.
Cedeno.
Anyway.
Ex-Red.
Yeah. He's,
And there's the only guy on the Reds in '85 that was any good.
all right.
Cedeno.
Well,
Anyway, Bad News Bears, original from '76. Phenomenal. Can't say any more about it.
okay. It is. It's good stuff. All right. So my number 4, 61. I think it's great. I know. I saw that earlier. It didn't even make your list. I just thought it was again
No, I like
another
it.
one based on a true story where it's like, okay, you don't know if they're really saying again, soapbox. It's like
It was a huge deal.
I know, but like you
No,
don't
but-
in the clubhouse, you don't know what they're saying. But I will say this though. I thought it was great. I mean, it came out like 20 years ago. I haven't probably seen it in about 10 or 15 years. But I remember thinking at the time, like, it was a great movie. And really well done. One of those guys named Thomas Jane and Barry Pepper, I think, were Gehrig and Mantle. And Billy, did you know that Lou Gehrig's wife is Billy Crystal's daughter? In real life? Nothing? All right. Crickets? All right.
Who?
Okay. Billy Crystal made the movie. His daughter plays Lou Gehrig's wife.
Because what you said was his daughter is Lou Gehrig's wife, and the math didn't add up. So I'm like, what the hell are you talking
In
about?
the movie.
I
Yeah,
get it.
yeah.
But no, I was not aware of that.
All right, so
but I
yeah.
did see the movie.
Yeah.
It is about, I'd say it's about 20 years. Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, it was like 02.
I did watch it. Anthony Michael Hall might have been in it.
He was. He's Whitey Ford. Yeah. Yeah. It was just good baseball movie. And, again, I think the reason that these baseball movies, I don't know, maybe it's just a personal preference, but not a lot of non-baseball stuff, you know? I mean, like, just get to the baseball.
I know.
Like Bull Durham, great, amazing movie.
Yeah.
But love story stuff, I'm like, if I'm going to watch a baseball movie, let's just, let's baseball it up, you know?
Yeah.
So anyways, that's my number 4. Oh, we are getting into
Okay, we're getting into my top 3. Boom, boom, boom.
we're getting into bronze medals.
Okay. My number 3 is The Rookie.
Okay.
It is the true story of Jim Morris.
Yes.
The fact that this really happened, it was made for a movie. And again, what sinks me in is the fact that it's based on a true story.
Yes.
This guy shows up to a tryout because he promised his Little League team that he would, with no intentions of doing anything, sets the stroller aside, and goes out there and throws 90 plus.
At least that's what the movie would lead you to believe.
Well,
I'm just kidding. I'm being a
I
smartass.
know.
I'm being a smartass. Okay.
So he makes it, and
Because Disney never
Right.
I'm just kidding. I'm sorry.
But like the fact that his
Yeah, it's
okay, whether every detail's true,
Oh, I know,
it's a
I know,
great
I know,
story.
I know. I'm
So
sorry, yeah, my
you
bad.
you may be a little fact and fiction,
yes.
but the fact that like him coming back to his team, like, hey, I made it, and the maybe the two best moments of movie history. I know that's a bold statement.
Yeah.
Two of the greater
How about
moments.
this? Two really great movies.
Two really great moments, okay, is when he's in the phone booth and he calls his wife and says, "Hey, can you get my suit out of the closet?" And she's like, "Yeah, why?" And he goes, "I guess there's a dress code in the big leagues." That is a great moment. And the other is when at the end of the movie when he's warming up in the bullpen and they give him the old they come out for a pitching change and give the old lefty.
They signal the lefty.
And Morris comes out of the pen. Phenomenal.
Yeah. It's great. Okay. There you go. Number 3. I'm with you. All right. My number 3 is The Natural. I know it's another one you didn't even have on your top 9. I know. I see it.
Great story. I know. Great story.
Yeah.
Robert Redford.
I also feel like it. I also feel like it's one like I watched growing up, you know, and you just and you just get in your brain like it's
and you fall
it's
in love
awesome.
with it.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. And he was not to be whatever corny, but like he's a lefty. I was a lefty growing up, and I remember like Dad liked it a lot, and I remember like watching it younger and forgetting about all the Kim Basinger stuff and the mean owner that smokes cigars in the dark and all that cliche BS, but like just him out there, like the baseball part of it. Wilford Brimley was an amazing as his manager, you know, and then like, you know, his very first time he gets to hit, he hits a cover off the ball and he's all, you know, it's great. Cheesy, but just great.
I mean, it's the fictional character.
I'll tell you what, okay.
That you fall in love with, right?
Yeah, but I also think that like, I'm trying to think of what, like just like the lighting and in that movie, like when he hits those, you know, when he hits the lights and they come down and everything, like it's just a very
towering
visually. It's a really cool movie, especially for whatever 1984, whenever it was. So
it was an older one.
Yeah. So yeah, I thought it was. Looking back on it, like again, it's one of those where I haven't watched it in a while, but I watched it a lot when I was younger, and and I just think it's a great movie, very well done. So that's my number 3. My goodness, I feel like I need to start doing a drum roll. Okay, number 2 for you.
Okay, my number 2 is Field of Dreams, which you've discussed. I'm going to tell you why it's probably number 2 and not number 8 or 9.
Okay.
So my girlfriend is a huge baseball fan, and when we heard about the Field of Dreams game, hey, they built a field, and they're going to have a big league game.
Did you go?
No,
okay.
No, we didn't go.
Okay, man.
No.
Sorry, audience.
No.
Okay.
No, but I'm saying
it's amazing.
It's like you hear about it and you're like, what?
Yeah.
And then it's like, what's this all about? So we turned the TV on, and it was White Sox Yankees, I think, last year, and 2 years ago, whatever it was.
Yeah, the first one.
The first one's 2 years ago, I think. And I'm like, you know, that is neat. Like, it was neat.
It's amazing.
So it took, like you said, hey, it's a fictional, stupid kind of movie. And I agree with you. But then it kind of brought it to life.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And that game, even though I had no skin in the game, it was baseball, and they were hitting home runs into the cornfield. And it was cool.
Yeah.
But the last, 2 innings were phenomenal. And it's like, man, that was great. Now, fast forward to this year, holy shit, my team's playing.
Right.
So,
for some reason.
Reds, Cubs, now that took on a whole new meaning.
Yeah.
No, I didn't go. Would love to, but watching it on TV, the pregame and the build-up.
Yeah.
And then guess what? Ken Griffey Sr., Ken Griffey Jr.
Yeah.
Stroll out of the corn, and what are they doing? Junior's having a catch with his dad, and I'm like, the irony. Like, what's going through his mind where, you know, Kevin Costner, you know, just that catch with your dad. And
Oh yeah.
so we watched the movie again, and then we saw like a documentary on the movie, which gave a lot of insight on some stuff and some Ray Liotta stuff.
Yeah.
And the kid who played his dad,
Yeah.
they even interviewed him on getting that role, and they wanted to find the
Yeah.
perfect person. So when you throw all that together in the past 3 years, it jumped to number 2 on my list for that reason.
Yeah.
It built the actual
think-
movie beyond the movie.
Right. I think MLB does a lot of things wrong. That is a great deal. And I feel like Rob Manfred was like was channeling. He was like thinking about you when he actually put the Reds in that game instead of the Cardinals.
was.
Because why would you put the Cardinals and the Cubs in there?
Right.
Why would you put the Reds? You know, Cards Cubs should. But like, it is really really cool that they're
It
doing that.
might have.
The whole movie.
You know what? It
Yeah.
could have been just because of the juniors.
Oh yeah.
It might have been.
Yeah.
Seriously.
That's true.
Because the White Sox inaugural made sense because of the White Sox, Black Sox, the whole Joe Jackson.
They may have been thinking, "Hey, Dad, you want to have a catch?"
No, I'm serious.
Have you ever said you want to have a catch to anybody in your life?
No. Do you want to play catch?
Play catch, yes.
Or do you want to throw it?
Do you
want
want
to have
to
a catch?
Please.
I've never understood what having a catch
Or if
means.
you're playing catch with your son, hey, let me go get my cup. No, just kidding. But it's like,
I know.
but in that the movie though, it was perfect the way he said it, you know. But nobody ever says that. But
Right.
in the movie, it was perfect. Okay. Number 2 for moi. You've already listed it. I had it higher because I just think it's amazing. Bad News Bears. Bad News Bears. It's just, again, okay, I'm trying to think of how I want to say this. There's no way, like, if you watch it now, like the original, there's no way in hell any of that could happen. But it's like, or the things they say, or the way.
But it's realistic.
Yeah.
Kind of.
But it is just so good. It's one of those where I like don't remake it. Like don't like leave it alone.
Yeah,
it's
why-
like Caddyshack 2. Stop it.
I know.
Leave it alone. And it's also like the one that I have a feeling is number 1 for both of us. Leave it alone.
I know.
Leave it alone.
Billy Bob Thornton did a good job, but
No, it's PG. First of all, they rated it PG. As soon as I see that, it's like, okay,
I know.
I'm out. You know.
Well, I know. Oh God, I know.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I didn't even I tried to watch it. No, I don't even know if I tried to watch it because I'm like, there's no way in hell it's going to be anything like the first one because it's PG.
I know.
I'm not
Well,
watching it. Like I don't.
I know, and look, I won't discuss details, but it is 1976, and there's words you ain't gonna hear these days.
Exactly.
But
If you can
I
get past
wish you
all
could,
that,
if you could watch that and still see the comedy without
yes,
being offended,
yes,
like
but everybody's offended these days. But like, if you like, oh, it's just great. Like that music, you know, it's like,
well,
it's just great. And I don't know what else to say. It's funnier than hell. It's Little League baseball. It's great, and it's a typical situation. I feel like this is the first movie too where it's like, okay, I could be wrong because of my age. I'm sure like over the years they had the movies like this, but it's the first one where it's like, okay, our team sucks. We got to get a ringer in here, and they bring in a ringer and they start winning. You know,
Kelly Leak,
yeah. So it's like, yeah.
this is the guy.
Hence the So it's like,
But he's riding a dirt bike, smoking a cigarette, and he's
Absolutely.
probably 17 years old playing against with
Well,
12-year-olds. What's the deal there?
you know
It
what?
just makes it funny though,
Yeah.
because it's stupid,
Now,
right?
no, it's not. It's awesome. And I feel like you're overthinking it.
No, it's.
There's no way he's not 17. You're overthinking
I
it.
know. I don't mean that.
And I
Just
love,
he's-
and Tatum O'Neal is just so awesome. And I mean, there's just, it is
she
just,
can play ball.
if you're cool and you don't get offended easily, just watch it because it's amazing. And yeah, it's number 2 for me. So now, number 1, I have
We
I
have to have the same number.
I have a sneaking suspicion we probably have the same number 1.
Okay.
But I'll let you explain why first, so you know.
Okay. Well, I mean, there's a lot we could talk about, and we probably will, but Major League.
Okay.
Now, so Major League, I'm going to go on a limb and say I've probably seen it 50 times. And
that's it.
Come April, well, in its entirety, I've what? Okay.
Yeah.
And come April, I'll probably slap it on for like the 51st time.
Yeah.
Comedy, period. It's just like Christmas Vacation. You know every single line.
Yeah.
And I mean every single line. And like every single line is funny to me.
Yeah.
I don't know if the word relatable is correct because I've not owned the Indians, so I can't relate to that. But
Guardians.
seriously.
Okay.
No. Hold on. Just like Costa said, they were the Indians then.
That's true.
So
Yeah, I'm with you.
if you got now when they remake it, I want to call them the Guardians. Fine.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
But
I'm with. I
the
know.
Cleveland Indians baseball in 1989. So it's kind of like Bad News Bears. It's fictional, but it's funny and relatable because it's like, all right, the owner throws together a team.
It was ahead of its time. It was tanking. Now people tank for real.
I know.
It's like,
It
Jesus,
was.
man.
But the fact that they won, I mean, that's your feel-good story. But every line is comedy, and I mean, you can insert those lines when you're watching a game, at a game, talking about a game. I mean, my brother, like I would call, to this day, I'll call my brother, and he'll answer the phone, Tire World. And that's funny.
Oh yeah.
I mean, we're talking 35 years after this
Oh, yeah.
movie came out, and I'll call him and he'll say Tire World when he answers. It
Yeah.
never gets old.
Nope.
100 times in, and it's still funny.
I got you.
What do you got?
Well, let me give you a hint.
Every time we win, we peel a section.
Lou Brown has some of the best.
Oh my gosh! It's just
a guy on the other line with wanting some white walls.
like, how would you like to manage the Cleveland Indians?
Oh, I don't know. Let me get back to you, Charlie. I got a guy on the lineup. That's about a set of white walls. I'll get back to you later.
It's just, yeah. I mean, I don't even know.
And Wild Thing,
Yes,
I mean,
it is
Charlie Sheen upped his career just based on some
Yeah.
fictional relief pitcher. Like,
Yeah.
it couldn't have been better.
I have a. We'll get back to Major League obviously in a second, but okay, Young Guns 2. Or is it Young Guns? I don't know. Either the first one or the second one, whatever. Charlie Sheen's in it. Gets killed off early because he had to go film Major League. True story. Now, do you want me to start singing Blaze of Glory by Bon Jovi? Or do you want me to
No.
go back? Okay. All right. So, it's just... I can't even explain it. Like, I talk like Lou Brown. That's probably more than... I mean...
Talk about like
definitely more than I should. But it's like... I mean, it's just funnier than hell. And it's... Okay, and that's one where the Jake Taylor, Rene Russo stuff, whatever,
It's actually good.
is slightly annoying, but not to the point where I'm going to change the channel. It's like they it's just little,
when he walks into their apartment and
yeah, it's just
like,
little bitty.
he plays for the Indians. Like, we have uniforms and everything.
Yeah, it's just yeah, exactly. It's just little bitty bits and pieces of that. So that whatever, and that's Rene Russo's first ever movie also, but my gosh, it's just amazing. Willie Mays Hayes.
Serrano.
Yeah, I mean, they just did it just perfect. Serrano, Willie Mays Hayes.
Serrano, you know who the current Serrano is? Aristides Aquino.
Is that a real... What are you talking about?
Me hit ball straight.
Oh.
Curveball. No, cannot
You know who
hit.
Curveball... Yeah.
That's Aquino.
All right. Oh, for the Reds?
Well, it was. They
Yeah.
finally cut him, but
Well,
see, he was ahead of his time.
absolutely. Yeah.
Now he's doing Allstate commercials.
Oh, yeah. It's just an amazing movie. I have this memory. I mean, obviously, we were one night we were, I don't know, staying all night in a hotel, like, and we all had to be in the same hotel room and all this kind of stuff. And there was an older fella, cranky fella. I'll let you figure out who that is. Matt. And
Colvin.
Yeah, and every time he's getting, I said we wouldn't say names on here, but that's the only time we're going to say a name. So anyway, he's like starting to doze off, and I felt like I was like at a summer camp, like a 10-year-old like sleepover, because every time he'd start to fall asleep, I'd be like, all right, knock that shit off, or he'd fall asleep, he'd start to doze off, I'd hear him snore like one time, I'd be like I did right there, like, every time we win, we peel a section. And he'd be like, John! You know, get all pissed off. And then I'd hear, like, other guys, like, in the room trying to fall asleep, like, snickering, you know, like, I feel like we're 10 years old. But that's what Major League does to you. Now, again, never should have had a sequel. Never should have had anything. Just leave it as it is.
Two more.
What,
Terrible.
I know. Caddyshack did the same thing. Like, cash grabs, you know, like cash grabs, and they never should have done it. But
they didn't make any. There's no way they made any money.
I think the second one probably did. Just off of you know the.
Well, you had to see it because you saw the first.
But again, as soon as you see it's not rated R, it's like no, you know. I was 11 years old. Whatever, I'll tell the story. It's fine. I was 11 years old when that came out. I saw it in the theater, and I have this memory going with my mom and dad. I'm surprised my mom would, you know, whatever. And it's a baseball movie. I love baseball, so they were going to let me go watch it. So we're on our way to the theater, and all I remember is Dad having to pull off about halfway and take a leak before we got to the theater. I have that memory. I mean, it was a long time ago, but I remember like Dad, guys, like make a little pit stop here, and then we went and watched it, and I watched it in the theater, and probably shouldn't, you know, whatever. But back then, you know how back then it was.
Was he pissing on Dorn's contract?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. That's good. Yeah. Might as well have been, but I remember like back then, you know, if you could be whatever age, but if you're with a parental guardian or whatever, you could just go in, you know, if it's rated R or whatever. Yeah, but anyways,
that was classic.
Yeah, amazing movie. Well, that's a good list. Anything you regret out of your list?
No.
Looking back,
ones that left out for me were Pride of the Yankees, Sandlot, The Natural, For the Love of the Game, and 61. Just
For the Love of the Game, way too much. No, way too corny. Way too corny. Way too much love story stuff.
No, correct.
Yeah.
But those didn't make it because they didn't beat out the other 9. It was, like the Sandlot.
The other one I thought about.
I understand that there's
kids,
fans, and kids love it, but I just ain't all into it.
Yeah, my son, when he watched it, it's fine, but Disney Plus has got like Sandlot 2, Sandlot 3. Once you get into those sequels, I'm like, I cannot.
And you can't take the Babe Ruth autographed ball out and play with it. You just, no excuses.
Yeah. I thought the first one is fine, but for it's a kid's movie. It's not. The only one that I thought about swapping in for 8 Men Out was Moneyball, but
Moneyball,
but
I considered it because of the
Chris Pratt playing first base. Come on, man.
Because of, and a shout out to Hattie-Berg. Is it Chris Hattie-Berg?
Scott Hattie-Berg.
But anyway,
I got his card. I got his card in there. We're gonna go over that later.
Yep, that's a true baseball movie.
I know, but
but I mean that's the upside.
Yeah,
it just couldn't beat out.
Yeah,
these others.
Gotcha. All right. Well, I think this is going to be a multi-episode situation here, but we'll cut this one off here. Take a little break, and maybe we'll start another one with some baseball card trivia, you know, and some other stuff. But I told my buddy whenever we're going to start doing this, I asked my son, I'm like, I couldn't figure out like a sign-off line or whatever, you know. So I asked Stevie, I was like, what should I do at the very end of like a podcast or whatever, like to be like, hey, like peace out or see you later. And he said, you should just like clap your hands like that and be like, that's that. So that's what I'm going to do. So thank you to Spinner. Spinner's going to be right back around. Absolutely. And that's that.